Who you know put it down like Chris, with a style so lit, flow that sound like this. Trying to make every video a hit, so you won't want to miss this week's This Is Chris. What's up guys, and welcome back to This Is Chris. This is my second video, and as you can already tell by the title of it, it is my coming out video. So today I'm going to give you guys two stories, because I came out twice. I came out as a lesbian at 15 years old, and I came out as transgender at 22. Let's get right into it. I didn't come out myself. Actually, I didn't come out myself either time. I was kind of forced out, or pushed out, like some like to say. Not that I'm complaining though, because I am where I am today, because obviously the people that love me and care about me gave me the strength and kind of gave me no choice but to be myself. So when I was like a freshman or a sophomore in high school, I was still dressing as a girl, but being forced to, and not forced to in the sense where like I would tell my mom I didn't want to wear a dress and she'd be like, you have to, like that wasn't the case. I wasn't open with my mom about it. They knew that I didn't really like it too much, and I want to say that she didn't put me in as many dresses, and she was considerate. My parents were, like they took my liking, I guess, or my taste into consideration, but my mom still fought with me about doing my hair, still fought with me about wearing earrings. Like wearing earrings was a big thing, and I hated it. Oh, I hated it. So I obviously still wore like the girls' uniform to school. I still, had to do my hair for school. I didn't do makeup. I never got into makeup, thank God. And my mom never forced me into that. Like, I think lip gloss was the worst it got for me. So two friends of mine at the time, one's name was Shindell, and Anthony we called Teddy at the time. Anthony was openly gay. We're hanging out at Anthony's house on a free period one day, or honestly we might have been cutting class, but free period. Shindell and Anthony just decided to start talking to me about this girl that apparently had a crush on me, and she was a cheerleader. And I remember them telling me about her, and I was just so shocked. I was so confused, because at that point I had never spoken about liking girls or let anybody know that I had that attraction to girls already. I myself knew that I was attracted to girls, but I still hadn't established what was going on, like I didn't really jump into the whole I'm a lesbian thing. And I guess it has to do with the fact that I was actually transgender, and I knew something was off, and I just didn't, like I still, even though I knew that I liked girls, I still hadn't put myself in the category of lesbian. So for my friends to come out and just start talking to me about this girl that liked me, like if I was an outed lesbian, it was weird to me. Then I remember Shindell just coming out and saying, we're your friends, we love you anyway, and we're always going to have your back, like, no matter what you like. And I just was like, okay, and yeah, she was cute, the girl was cute. She ended up being my first girlfriend ever. The relationship didn't really last long. We were in high school, we were kids, but I'll always remember her because she was the first girl that I dated, and kind of the girl that I came out for. At that point, I just immediately started talking to the girl, and immediately just came out at school. Like, I was open about liking girls or being a lesbian at school. I kind of, was happy at that point. And then came coming out to my family, which I was not ready for. It was my birthday that year, and I was already dating the girl that my friends had told me about, the cheerleader. And we're walking home from school one day, and since it was my birthday, she had bought me a bunch of balloons and like a gift or whatever, and we're walking, holding hands, walking down the street, and I did not expect my mom and one of my aunts to be driving by at all. Like, I didn't expect my aunt to be with my mom that day at all. So when a car starts beeping and pulls up and is calling my name, like, I didn't think my mom, and then when I noticed that it was my mom, I pulled my hand away. I immediately, like, my heart started to beat. I practically crapped my pants. I was terrified, but I wasn't sure if they saw me holding her hand or not. So they asked me what I was doing. I said I was going to walk her home. It was a friend of mine from school, and my aunt and my mom, like, they were on their way somewhere. I think probably to, like, pick up my birthday cake or something, because we had to get together at the house that day. But I remember them just leaving, and my mom was like, I'll see you at home. So I walked the girl home from her house to my house was probably like an 8-block radius, and that was the scariest, most terrifying walk I ever took in my life. The longest walk at that. And I just remember telling myself, what am I going to say? Like, is she going to be mad? Like, what? You know, I didn't know what I was walking into. Then when I got to the house, my aunt offered to take me shopping. She was like, for my birthday, you know, she was going to take me to get a couple of outfits. So before I even get to talk to my mom, we're in the car ready to go to, I don't know if it was like a Marshall's or Kohl's or something, but when we get to the place, when we get to the store that we were shopping at, I remember like it was yesterday, so vividly. We're standing in an aisle, and literally it's where to the right is the women clothing and to the left was the men clothing. And I remember my aunt asking me, which section are we going to? And I just looked at her like confused, you know, and she told me, I want to buy you whatever makes you comfortable, whatever you're comfortable in, so whatever section you want to go to. And honestly, I was like the happiest kid in the world. It was so liberating. Like, it was such a great feeling. And we went to the boys section, and I picked out a couple of pairs of jeans, picked out some shirts. It was great. I was honestly like one of my best memories. And on the ride home, she brought it up and was just telling me that, you know, your mom knows. She, like we all know, we can tell, we know you, we're your family. You just gotta come out and tell her. Like, stop hiding and just come out and tell her she loves you. So I got home. The first thing my aunt did was tell my mom that I needed to talk to her. So we came into my bedroom at the time, and we sat on the bed, and I don't even think I came out to my mom. I think that we just started crying, and crying together, like hugging each other, crying hard. Then I remember her letting go of the hug and looking at me and telling me that I don't ever have to be afraid to tell her anything. That she's not hurt because of the life that I chose. She's just hurt that I was afraid to tell her. And I felt comfortable for the first time in my life, and that was great. So my mom was cool about it. After my mom, you know, the rest of the family was cake to tell. After telling my mom and my stepdad, like, everything else was cake, because they raised me, and like I respected their opinion and what they thought of me very much, you know, and still do to this day. So that was the scarier part of coming out. Everybody that I told accepted me. I was blessed, and nobody really gave me a hard time except for one person, and I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to bring it up or not, but I want to be as real and as honest with you guys as I can and just give you my experience for what it was and not sugarcoat anything. So the one person that gave me a hard time was my biological father, and he's never really been in the picture. It's funny because I don't have a relationship with him, but I actually have a pretty close relationship with his siblings, like my aunt and my uncle. And I guess it's because as a kid, when I would go see my dad, it was my grandma, my aunt, and my uncle that I spent the majority of the time with, if not all my time with, because dad was just simply not there. But besides that, that's not really the point. My dad was the only one that gave me a hard time about it, and that's kind of what upset me the most, because he was never there as a father. So for him to just come and give his opinion when it wasn't really asked for, and think that he can come and judge me after not having hand in the person that I was raised to become, was really dumbfounding for me. I don't know how my dad found out, but somebody told him, and word of mouth travels fast, and somebody told him, and he reached out to my mother and felt like it was okay to insult her motherhood, blame her, and say that it was her fault that I came out to be a dyke, and just say all these really mean things to her. And again, I was only 15, so I remember my mom coming and telling me, like, don't talk to your dad about it, because this was his approach about it when he came to talk to me. And I just knew, okay, so that door is shut. Like, I'm not even going to tell him, because he's not going to accept me, so what's the point? I honestly don't think that my father and I have ever sat down and had a conversation about my sexuality or my gender or anything. I just know that he was judgmental about it from the beginning. He's vocalized his opinion. He's made it very evident that he does not accept that. And I kind of just let it be. Like, I was not going to have somebody who thought so negatively of me in my life. It hurt me then that he didn't accept me, but I'm still alive and kicking, and I'm better than ever. And it may have hurt me then because I was a child still, and I felt like I still needed him because he was my father. But now as an adult, I can laugh about it, you know, like, it doesn't hurt me no more. I'm not hurting, it doesn't bother me. To each his own. Like, dude, you don't accept me, then, you know, I respect you. And I can respect you being real with me and telling me that you don't accept it, as opposed to lying to me and saying that you love me anyway and then not really love me, you know? So I have a different outlook on that. Besides that, everybody else was pretty cool about it. And then when I came out as transgender at 22, I was in a relationship with somebody that I had been with already for like 2 years. A friend of ours that we have in common came past by my job one day, and like we were talking, you know, and this person, Sarah, yes, I'm gonna mention your name. Thank you very much. I love her to death, but she'd always come to my job, and we'd always just talk and about anything, you know, and catch up. I don't know how she knew or how she caught on. I guess it was more obvious to everybody else than it was to myself, but I don't remember specifically the conversation, but I remember her saying something along the lines of, like, if you ever decided to transition, everybody would be okay with that. Like, I felt like I was 15 again, in the room with my friends, telling me about this girl that I liked. Like, what? Again, I've said nothing to anybody about me wanting to transition. I've thought about it. At 15, I didn't know what transgender was. So I feel like if I would have explored the idea of being trans at 15, I might have just come out as trans, as opposed to living a lie for so many years and playing it off like lesbian. Yeah, so the point is, we were talking, and she said that, and I was like, well, yeah, I have actually thought about it. And I was like, it's crazy that you mentioned it, but like, I have thought about it, and it actually is something that I want to do. Like, she was just like reassuring me, like, everything will be fine, you just gotta be strong and do this for you. And then tells me, like, I should tell my girlfriend at the time what was going on. I let her know that I was not ready for that. That when I was ready, I would, and I wasn't ready. I thought about it after she told me that, and I tried to sit down with my girlfriend, and I tried to tell her what was going on. I was like, we gotta talk, there's something important that I have to tell you, and I'm just really scared to tell you, and I'm nervous. You might look at me differently after this. She was like, tell me, what is it? I got cold feet, and last minute was like, never mind. I'll tell you when I'm ready, but I'm just not ready yet. Let me collect my thoughts. So I let a couple of days pass by, and over the next couple of days, my girlfriend at the time kept hinting that she wanted me to tell her what I needed to tell her. In my head, I'm thinking, this woman has to know. I could sit here and be working up the nerve to tell her that I killed 3 women and chopped their bodies up into a million pieces and buried it under the floorboards in my grandmother's basement. Or anything. I could have told her anything. And she already knew that she was going to accept it, and already knew that she was going to love me no matter what. So I knew that she knew. At the end of the day, yes, Sarah had told her, because I never came out and said, babe, I'm trans. I'm not mad at Sarah for it. She helped me. If it wasn't for Sarah opening that one door and telling my girlfriend at the time that I was trans, I probably would still be living my life as a lesbian right now. So thank you, Sarah, even though I was not ready for that, but thank you. After, you know, I told my girlfriend, next step was telling my siblings. I come from a big family, so there's a lot of us. So one by one, I let them all know, and they were all cool about it, and that went real smooth. I didn't expect anything less from them. I told my friends were all cool about it, and then little by little, I started telling my family. The hardest person to tell was my mom. This time around, I went into it knowing that my mom would love me. I knew that she was going to accept me. I just didn't know how hard it was going to be for her to process. When I told my mom, she definitely cried again. She wasn't disappointed. My mom's biggest fear, because I don't want to say her biggest problem, her biggest fear was the surgeries. Like, she's like, but you're going to get surgery, and oh my god, are you going to be able to deal with that? Like, that's so dangerous and risky. Being a mom, you know? I know that it's going to be really difficult for her with the pronouns to switch from she to he. She literally called me baby girl all the time. Like, that was my mom's nickname for me for everything. Like, okay, baby girl, or I love you, baby girl, I miss you, baby girl, hey, baby girl. That, I know, is going to be the biggest obstacle for her to overcome. As of now, she's doing pretty well. She still calls me Crystal from time to time, but like when she talks to my younger brother, she'll say Chris, so that's really cool. I'm pretty sure she still uses the female pronouns, but step by step, you know, one day at a time. Acceptance was all I really asked for, and it's exactly what I got. After I came out to my mom, I came out to my stepdad. I knew my stepdad was going to be cool about it. I was nervous to tell him just because it's scary to tell people, but I wasn't afraid that he would turn his back on me at all, because my stepdad, like, I don't even like to call him my stepdad. I literally am only calling him my stepdad in this video because I mentioned how my biological father didn't accept me. From here on in, like, when you hear my dad, it's my stepdad that I'm talking about. He raised me. I wasn't afraid of him not approving of me or supporting me. He's one of my biggest supporters, if not my biggest supporter, and I love him to death for that. No, yeah, he's literally my biggest supporter. Like, 100% hands down. Everybody else in the family, I'm not sure if I told them or if they kind of just knew, like, you know, my main thing was just tell my immediate family, my friends, and my girlfriend at the time. And I did. And they were all accepting about it. I can't tell you if my biological father is okay with it or not, because I can't even tell you if he knows or not. It doesn't faze me. I don't care if he does know. I don't care if he doesn't. If he does know and he accepts that, then cool. If he does and he doesn't, then I guess we're in the same boat, right? But yeah, that was really it. Coming out, I think the hardest part about coming out was getting over the fear that I had in my head, because the act of actually doing it was a lot smoother than expected. I'm truly blessed to have so many supporters and so many people that love me regardless, that have my back, and that are wishing me well on my journey, that are like genuinely happy for my happiness. I know there's other trans guys in the world that didn't have it that easy, that really have a tough time being accepted, and I'm really, like, I'm sad for those people, and it really breaks my heart, because I really wish that this world was a way more accepting place, and I just wish that everybody would realize that we're normal. Like, transgender people are normal. There's nothing wrong with us except for the body that we were given at birth. I don't even want to say that that's wrong, because at first I used to say that I felt like I was born in the wrong body, but now I don't really feel the same. Like, first and foremost, I'm a firm believer in God. I in no way, shape, or form feel like God made a mistake when he made me. I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm exactly where God wants me. No, I was not happy with the body that I had as a female, so I worked up the strength and the courage to go out and get the body that I want. I was given this obstacle, this trial and tribulation for a reason. God put me in a female's body when I was born because he knew that I would grow the strength and the courage to make my body match my soul and lead by example and give other people the courage and the inspiration to do the same. I think that I was given the exact life that I was meant to have. This is my journey, and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna be happy, continue on my journey until I'm 1000% satisfied, and I'm gonna share my experience and my whole journey with everybody, so that way it helps people in the future, and it helps guys more down the road, and it just educates the world and teaches you guys to have an open mind and be more accepting. Because if the world was less judgmental and more accepting, the world would be a much better place. And as cliche as that sounds, it's simply true. So that's it. That pretty much wraps up my coming out story. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and that's it. I will see you guys next week with another video. Peace.